With that, thank you. And with that, I just want to thank the committee here and all those who participated in today's event. But I also have to go to public comment, I just was told, which democracy, that's what we do here. So with that, I'm going to turn over to public comment. We're going to limit the comments to 30 seconds.
Mr. Chairman, I can do that. Steve Henderson, representing the California School Employees Association, this afternoon, speaking on behalf of the Education Coalition. I'll be brief. Two things we'd like to leave you with. The first is that the Education Coalition supports this historical, successful state and local partnership for using general obligation bonds to build school facilities. And second, we would oppose having to use Proposition 98 funding or LCFF funding, however you want to call it, to support school facilities and fund new construction. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Kathy Moffett from the California State PTA. I'm the Director of Legislation. Our organization has over 800,000 members throughout the state. I wish I could look at my notes and hold this down at the same time. Let me try. We're concerned about the lack of state matching funds. We haven't had them for many years now. Schools and districts are in need of this assistance. School buildings are tangible evidence to parents, community, and above all to students of the importance of education and the priority that society places on it, for better or for worse. Aging and outdated schools send a message that devalues education, and schools that are modern and adequate announce to all that education is important. Children hear that loud and clear, and their performance reflects it. Research shows that clearly. I have one question that has been inspired by the discussion here this afternoon, and that is that untapped local capacity to finance school construction and modernization is cited as a major alternative to school construction and modernization, or to state participation in school construction and modernization, and yet I haven't heard a quantification or even a definition of that untapped local capacity. And so I'm wondering, how do we explain that to our parents and to our communities? So I'm hopeful that as we have, our organization has supported school bonds in the future, we look forward to a school bond we've supported them in the past. We look forward to a needed one in the future.
Good afternoon, Tova Corman, Long Beach Unified School Districts. I'm the Executive Director of Facilities Planning and Development. I'm also a CASH board member. I want to thank you for having me here today. As a representative of Long Beach and CASH, Long Beach Unified has 83 schools, the third largest district in the state, over 81,000 students. And we have identified in our facilities master plan from 2008 $4 billion worth of facility needs. It has been now 7 years, and we anticipate $2 to $3 billion more on top of that original need. My school sites, I have 1,158 portable classrooms built on site. 48 of our schools were built before 1950. That's 58% of our schools. 69 are 50 years or older, 83%. If the state were to have a program and contribute to the modernization of these schools, we would be eligible today for $234 million worth of work, which we would contribute our portion, which would be more than double that. We have 73 of our school sites that have some form of eligibility, whether it's severe, non-severe, or at their pupil level. And we think it's really important. 73%, that means a good 75 to 90% of our schools have never been touched by modernization funding. And we really would support the committee as well as the state passing a state bond in 2016 in order to help support and also help the community to know that the state is committed to them, their students, as well as providing a world-class education. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, Jeff Frost, representing the California Association of Suburban School Districts and the Central Valley Education Coalition, which are the school districts and county offices from Tulare to Merced counties. First, I'd like to thank the Department of Finance for the time and effort in meeting with stakeholders over the fall. They've been very open, interested in questions. The problem, I think, for all of us is without a robust state share in this state-local partnership, we just don't think the assessed value capacity is there to make this work. We're open to working with the committee as you work on this further, and we appreciate you having the hearing today. Thank you.
Mr. Chair and members, Ian Padilla with the Coalition for Adequate School Housing. Earlier, you heard Joe Dixon talk about the concern about maintenance and operations. We also wanted to, just for the record, confirm that CASH fully supports a robust state role as it has in the past. And we don't think that rolling this in with school facilities is sustainable in any way. Thank you.
Rebecca Curley on behalf of the County School Facilities Consortium. CSFC represents county offices of education on facilities issues, and we directly serve a diverse population of students, including those in special education, community school, and court school programs. And because of that, we have some very unique facilities needs, smaller class sizes, specialized facilities, and support services. COEs often lack local resources. We do not have the authority to issue local bonds, and so many of our county offices have been dependent upon the state program for their facilities. And as such, many of the governor's proposals do not actually help county offices of education. The school facility program does include the financial hardship program, and that has an ability to pay component. And so that provides additional state funds for those county offices and districts that are not able to meet their full local match. That's been a very important program for county offices. And as such, we would urge you to consider the state, to continue the state-local partnership for the provision of school facilities. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair, Mr. Vice Chair. Pamela Gibbs, representing the Los Angeles County Office of Education. I would like to associate myself with the previous speaker's comments, and in the interest of time, simply add that the superintendent's priority is also for modernization funds. There's always a concentration on construction, but for us, for a lot of our facilities, modernization seems to be a priority. Thank you for holding the hearing today, and we look forward to working with you, the administration, and the leadership of this House as well. Thank you.
Eric Bakke with the Los Angeles Unified School District. We're happy to be here. We appreciate this hearing today. I think it was very insightful. I think there's a lot of good information provided, so I don't want to take up too much time. Just simply add that I think at the beginning of the conversation it was asked, was this program successful? And I believe the answer was yes, it's met its purposes. And I think at the time this program was created, its purpose was to address unfounded or unhoused children, capacity issues. I think we're at a crossroads right now where we have to evaluate what's the new purpose, what is the goals going forward, what is the long-term strategy that the state should undertake. I think that's a critical piece of the discussion that I think in the next hearing, which I suspect you'll have, that should be part of that conversation. Just in terms of one of the earlier comments, Senator Chavez, you raised about inventory and needs. Just want to offer that our district represents roughly 10% of the state's inventory. We've just completed a facility condition assessment of all of our campuses. We've determined what our needs are in Los Angeles, and it's not necessarily the need that's equal to what the state wants to participate with, but it's what we know we need in our communities to make our schools successful. And in any way we can provide that information and share that information to help educate the conversation going forward, we'd be happy to participate. Just as a little note, you had mentioned at the very beginning about portables. Just to share with you, even after we've completed our school construction program, building all the new schools that we built, we still have roughly about 200,000 kids in portables in our community. That would actually equal the second largest school district in the state of California. So, thank you very much.
Wow. Mr. Chavez, any closing comments?
No, sir. I really enjoyed it. I think it's clear we have some work to do.
I think it is clear we have some work to do. A lot of good information presented today. I appreciate all parties who presented this afternoon. A lot of information presented. I'll have to kind of think about this for sure. But where I sit today is the same place when I walked into the room. We have a program that works. We have a public-private partnership that works. So why would we change it? Certainly there's some things we need to look at. But overall, it seems that the program has worked. So with that, this committee meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.